Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutter by Heidi. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I thought I'd share with you a pretty box using the lovely Bration products that are available. And this is just one of the papers that are available, which I've used for the project, and it coordinates beautifully with the lovely U, which is in the main catalogue, which is a super sentiment set with lovely floral images. And you can see those kind of simplified leaves and accents just work wonderfully with it. So that's what I thought I'd do, just to show you that, you know, when you purchase things like the lovely U from the main catalogue and some other items to bring you up to £45, you can choose a pack of ordinary exceptional Stampin' Up quality 12 by 12 paper, and this one is called Paper Blooms, and they're 12 by 12. You get two each of the 6 double-sided designs. You can see on the one side you've the big bold floral images, on the reverse you've got a smaller pattern, and you can see here the circles on this one, lovely Night of Navy. Colours that you've got in this are Rococo Rose, Night of Navy, Seaside Spray as well. Soft Sea Foam is the green that you've got in there, and Old Olive as well. And say this is absolute perfect match for this image here, goes really well together. Some stripes, always useful to have in your stash, and some lovely green ones, and they're rather nice because they're kind of offset. And then a darker Night of Navy background and a lovely all over leaf. Reminds me of a pattern we had a little while ago, I think it was Wonderful Romance, but lovely kind of really useful pattern that would go fabulously with the Forever Fern stamp set as well. So that's what you can earn for free with a £45 spend. And by the time you've bought, you know, you buy yourself a stamp set, maybe a couple of punches, and you're there and you choose something for free. So this is the project. So I've used the fancy Label Me Lovely punch, which is one of my favourites. They're all my favourites. I like this one because it's got a straight edge, which makes lining it up really easy, and I just like the fact that it can be used in either orientation as well. And it's a pretty circle closure box, as you can see here. What we've got is overlapping circles to create a box, which is a really good size. You could get loads of stuff in there. Don't think it's quite big enough for a little bottle of wine. Is it? Well, might be actually. Well, not quite, but almost big enough for a little bottle one. That just gives you an idea of height. And the circle closure is just really just overlapping circles, but a nice way to change box. But it certainly holds some lotion, some other gifts, and I say just makes the most of the paper. Okay, so that's the box. If you wanted to keep it, make a box and then keep it flat for storage, just don't seal it up at the end and undo those flaps at the top, and then you can store that nice and flat until you need to use it. So let's crack on with the measurements. Okay, all right. So you're obviously going to need a piece of DSP, and you're also going to need a piece of cardstock. So I've done this in inches today. I'll put it in centimetres as well, but that's because I'm going to be using the 2 1/4 inch punch, so it just made sense to do it. So I want a piece that's 8 1/4 inches wide by 9 1/2 inches in length. And obviously that bit is perfect for punching our label afterwards. And then on the long edge, you're going to score at every 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4, at 4 1/2, at 6 3/4, and at 9 inches. And then you want a single score line at 2 1/4 inches as well. You're then going to want 4 pieces of designer series paper. So if you've got one that orientates itself, you just need to bear that in mind. It's about half a sheet that you're going to be using, so it's 5 7/8. So just under half a sheet of 12 by 12. And I'm going to cut 4 pieces, and each of these are going to be 2 1/8 of an inch, just to give a nice narrow border. You'll want a scrap of Whisper White as well to punch your sentiment onto. That gives you a really nice piece. Still, you could do a coordinating card to go with that as well. So you want 4 pieces, and then you want 4 circles. So you can choose obviously any patterns that would coordinate with this. So because this is quite pale, I just thought I'd go for the pretty pink and pick out that lovely floral image on the reverse side. So I'm just using the same piece of paper, but I shall use the reverse on the one side. So I'm just going to punch out those circles. I won't quite get 4 out of this one piece. Will I get a third one out? I might. Oh yes. Okay. And then I'll just take a 4th one out of this. Okay. So 2 1/4 inch punch, and obviously what you're going to want to do is fold those in half. So have a quick look at the images, see whether there's any that particularly appeal. So I'm probably going to use this big, these 2, and then I'm going to use these 2 on the Rococo. So just gently fold those in half. Grab your bone folder and just reinforce those. And the adhesive, I should use some Tombow for adding the tops, and then some Seal Plus just to do that side seam. The great thing with Seal Plus is it's designed for box making, so that you've got, it's got a good strength to it. So I'm going to reinforce the creases. So just fold those through, and at the bottom one. And then we're going to trim away this narrow little corner. And I'm just going to snip that top bit away as well. Now just a reminder that when you want the seam for a box at the back. So if you see that, that's where my seam is going to be. So this is going to be my front panel. So this one is going to be cut straight, because that's where I want to fold it back, so you've got a nice, you haven't got a join showing at the front. So it means that I'm going to take the sides out of this one. Sorry, I've got my little scissor charm is just fouling on my scissors. Right, okay, let me jump, there we go. So you're going to cut the chunks out of the ones either side of that. By the chunks I mean the sort of slivers, like so. That's my geriatric dog. You probably can't hear him, but he's just making his way up the stairs. Bless him, he's supposed to stay downstairs these days. But when he hears me talking, if I haven't actually shut him in the lounge, he makes his way up here, and then, yeah. So I just have to keep an ear open for him, make sure he's okay. So once you've done that, before you create your box, we want to add our panels of card, of DSP even. So have a look at those and see whether there are any particular ones that you want to go together, or you want at the front. So you might want one, say like this one. I quite like this one on the front because it's got quite a range of patterns and leaves. And obviously you could make sure that they've lined up, but I haven't. There we go. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just quickly add those to my box using some ordinary seal. If I could see where I'd put it. There we go. That's my Seal Plus for the sides. Okay. Distracted by the dog. Okay, let's get the old... get my words out. Get the old snail out instead, so I haven't have that to hand. And because this is a nice narrow border, it just fits on perfectly. The great thing, one of the other great things about the new Stampin' Seal and Seal Plus is it's so quiet in comparison. You don't get the kind of ratchety sound that you get with this. But being a frugal craft, I'm certainly not going to throw away perfectly good glue. And I've got it handy. But I have to say, I'm more and more having to force myself to use it up, because I'm like, oh, I really do prefer the seal. It does work so much better. In fact, I've just spotted it. There we go. Now, the other thing you can do while it is still flat, I would recommend, is pop these panels on the top. So we're going to have those alternating. So I recommend you open it up and just centre that and have the score line just very marginally above the top of the box, because that just enables it to sit really nicely and close. So it's almost a case of kind of lining it up and then sort of folding it over. And so just bear in mind your bear in mind your patterns as well, because obviously you just want to make sure that you're alternating those to get the best effect. So again, just all I'm doing is I'm just popping that on the edge and then opening that so it just lines up like so. So now we've got our circles, I can add my Seal Plus down to that outer edge. Now the great thing about Seal Plus is you don't need to use the tick anymore. It's got little joins on it, so it just breaks really easily. And by that I mean it's the glue finishes. And then I'm just folding that over to get our pattern, like so. Now, as I said, what you need to do now, you've got a lovely finished box, is just spot where your back seam is, which is in this back corner here. And what you would do is you would add some glue to each of the tabs, fold it up and fold that one down at the front to create our box. So all that remains now is to do our decoration. So I've chosen this lovely stamp here, which is Let's Cheer You Up. And I thought I'd add some pretty Rococo rose as well. So I'm going to grab my Night of Navy for the sentiment. There we go. So Let's Cheer You Up. And then I thought if I put my Rococo rose in those flowers, and obviously just add those all around as you want, and pop some leaves at the bottom. And as I say, what I thought I'd do is just, I've got a friend who's unwell, just pop some lovely little treats in there as a little cheer you up box. So decide how much of the pattern you want, whether you want more leaves or you want it all central. When you're happy with it, you can just punch that out. Punch a second one from our Night of Navy scrap. As I said, this one's really easy, so just cut it in half like so, and just add some seal to the top and bottom, and all of a sudden adding a layer behind it just brings it to life, you know, sort of adds that bit of dimension onto it. And you can use those side bits. I seem to have caught the edge of one of the punches on that. A ragged edge, there we go, like so. Dimensionals, always a great way, so just pop some dimensionals onto that. And again, with your dimensionals, as I always say, don't have to go mad. One in the corner, one in each corner, one in the middle, and you're fine. Just peel off those backings. And again, you could kind of have a range of these just ready to go in your stash. And then all we need to do is add our label to the front. And then when we're ready to, we would glue it tuck our tabs in. And you'll see I'm just going to tuck that fourth one into there. And there we have our pretty pair of boxes that will store flat until you need them. So it's always good to get ahead. You can't always get things done right at the last minute. And there we go. Which is your preferred one? I just love this paper. It's so pretty, and it coordinates so well with Lovely You. Gives you lots of options to coordinate with the stamp set. There we go. I'll be doing a celebration Saturday all the way through January and February. So just keep subscribing. Hit the subscribe button either to my YouTube or on my blog, and you'll get notified as and when I release a video. So thanks for watching. Come back again soon. Bye for now.